When your horse's behavior becomes too dangerous for you to handle, when you feel all hope is lost and there's nowhere else to turn for help, you can turn to Ryan Gingrich, the behaviorist. His knowledge and understanding bring hope where there is none. Let's follow Ryan now as he faces his next challenge.
Hey Beth, you in here?
Hey Ryan! Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, nice to see you.
Thanks so much for coming. We sure appreciate it.
No problem. Oh my, what is this?
This one just arrived a couple hours ago. This guy was just seized and brought in by animal control, and we got our work ahead of us on this guy.
That is ridiculous. Can't believe people would actually treat an animal like that. That is just horrible.
Sad part is most of our guys come in like this.
He's got a little spirit about him still, huh?
He still does, still wants to go. Our average weight gain is about 400 pounds. So you're seeing it firsthand what they look like when they come in, and you're going to see some of the other ones as they get better.
Well, good, good. What's it cost to run something, I mean, to get a guy like this back to health?
It's about $300 a month just to get him back healthy.
Really?
And it's an ongoing process, lots of work.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, I hate to see this, but I'd like to see some of the other guys that you've done and rehabilitated already.
Wow.
And I'd like to be able to help you with some of the behavioral issues and help you get them adopted.
Oh, that would be great. We have about 50 up for adoption right now, and the other ones we utilize for programs with kids with special needs. So we're just really grateful you're here and really hoping you can help us with some things.
Well, I'm sure I can. Let's go out and see those guys right now.
Sounds great.
All right, you be good, buddy. Hey folks, I'm Ryan Gingrich, the behaviorist. You know, like a lot of you, my tech room is limited in space, but with EquiRex, I've solved that problem.
EquiRex has a wide variety of products that travel well and are easily affordable. Its rugged construction allows for even the most rigorous daily use.
EquiRex, space where you need it. For more information, call my 1-800 number or visit my website for a complete line of EquiRex products. Welcome back, Beth. These are your original part of the original 16.
Part of the original 16, yes.
That you rescued, and tell me a little bit more about each one of these guys and kind of what they're doing. What I'd like to do real quickly with each one of them is give me the quick story about where they came from, kind of what happened to them, and then what kind of behavioral issues that you're having with them now.
Okay.
And then what I'd like to do after that is go through each one of their behaviors and say, this is how I would rehabilitate that type of horse. And then I'm going to pick one,
Okay.
and I'm going to work with them.
Sounds wonderful.
So why don't we start here with Lily and Kat.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Lily is one of our original 16, as the others are. Lily came in as about a 6-month-old baby.
Mm-hmm.
She had not been handled at all, and then suffered a pretty bad injury to her side, so left her pretty skeptical of people.
Sure.
Lily has a lot of confidence, and Lily tends to use her strength as a way to get away with things she shouldn't.
She bullying you quite a bit? Or?
She's bullying. She also has learned that if she rears up a little bit, it's tough to keep her going, and she tends to bolt. So
Okay.
under saddle, and we've just started her under saddle. Under saddle, she has a little temper, and she tends to show a little bit of that under with little crow hops, and not real happy when she's asked to do too much.
Okay. What's this horse's name?
That is Cody.
Cody.
Cody is a very sweet boy. He's very level-headed. Again, he has a lot of confidence. His mom is also part of the 16. Cody likes to do it his way, and when pushed too much, he tends to fire with some little bucks.
Okay,
But he's headstrong.
Good. And this is
Dakota,
Dakota.
and he's one of our all-time favorites. Dakota was so badly abused that he just simply would not make contact with humans. And he actually showed some aggression. If you got too close to him, he would try to bite. What we've really found with him is he just has a lot of fear. And so when he feels like he's not sure what you're asking of him, he loses his head a little bit.
Okay.
But he's a very sweet boy and really wants to do the right things.
great, great. And this little gal is
That's Mary. That's Cody's mom.
Okay.
And Mary, unfortunately, was the abuser's own personal ranch horse. So
Okay.
we have spent a lot of time overcoming head shyness and other big fear issues. And she just has a lot of fear. She has been doing a little bit of rearing under saddle.
okay. And this is
Grace, and Grace is a special girl, very special. Grace is kind of our drama queen.
Drama
Yes,
queen.
she is. She loves everything, wants to be part of the party, but she definitely can instigate trouble when it's around. So she is highly emotional on all levels. But
it's very spooky and
she's spooky, and she tends to, like to make everything a fun party. Yeah.
okay. So kind of sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, exactly. She is a party girl.
All right. Well, good. I think what we're going to do now is, again, I'm just going to walk back through each one of them.
Okay, great.
And you're going to have to remind me again of each one of their behaviors. And I'm going to just give you a real quick synopsis of what I think what we should do with these type of horses, those type of behaviors. And some of them are going to be about the same. And then I want to do is show you how I go about doing that kind of stuff.
That will be wonderful.
So, Beth, this must be Angie,
Yes,
right? Well, thank you for holding Grace here for us. See, Grace is the party girl, has a lot of spooky emotions, okay?
A lot of spookiness, and tends to want to get out of anything that seems like it's a little too much for her.
Okay, all right. Well, a lot of times with those type of horses, a lot of times spooking is just basically a really bad stop cue.
Okay.
Now, I see all of these behaviors, whether it be Grace or over at Lily that bucks and all that kind of stuff, everything's going to go back to basically two cues. And those two cues are going to be either go and stop, or both, okay? And with Grace, some of the things that I'm going to look for from her is that when I do pick up the lead rope, how does she react with me? Does she get kind of flighty, that kind of stuff? Does she do this type of stuff and really pull against that lead rope? Even if there's a fly, I really don't want them to do that unless it's really necessary, it's a biting fly or something. Some of the other things I'm going to look for is how does she back up? Right now I'm putting probably about 5 to 10 pounds of pressure on that lead rope.
Okay.
That's not a really good thing for them to show us, because that will transfer into, if she decides to bolt away, that this pressure on her nose means absolutely nothing to her.
Okay.
She's going to run right through that pressure. So we really need to teach her that when we ask that foot to move, with the conjunction with that pressure of the nose, that's an immediate response.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do a lot of groundwork with her, all right, doing stop and go.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some stuff here so you can do that. I'm going to show you again what I'm going to do with the rest of these, one of these guys anyways.
Okay, great.
Sweetie pie. All right, so the spooking again is basically just, does she understand the stop cue? It's a flight response, and when you control the feet, you can control the mind.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's Miss Grace. I'm going to hand back the horse to Angie here. Thank you. This was again Mary, right? And this is Jeff, correct? Good, thank you. You said Mary had a lot of fear issues and been abused quite severely, and was a personal horse of that.
Of the abuser.
Of the abuser,
yes.
yeah, sure. And said she was very head shy at one point in time.
Very head shy and very ear shy.
Right. And it looks like she's pretty
Getting
much
better,
over that.
yeah.
Right?
Unless
So-
there's something sudden.
Sudden sun that makes her do it, okay? With ear shy horses and basically fearful horses, again, it's about a stop cue.
Okay.
All right. Now, what I teach is basically there's 6 levels or 5 levels to my program. There's basic control, lightness, rhythm, line, and then eventually connection. Basic control tells the horse to go forward, stop, turn left and right, back up, and stand still. One of the things we're going to work with Mary here is to teach her to stand still. I mean, she's doing a pretty good job right now, but when pressure's being exerted on her, she gets fearful. That's going to cause her feet to move. And again, control the feet, control the mind.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things when we're working with head shy horses, we're not going to start just by reaching up and grabbing and hold their head. All right. Not going to go, hey, Mary, how are you? I'm doing one of these things. All right. So, and again, you can see her eyes getting a little wider. She's getting more expressive with her stuff.
Right.
This is what I would call the beginning of a yellow zone.
Okay.
All right. There's green zone, yellow zone, red zone. Green means go, yellow means slow, and red means stop.
Okay.
All right. So with Mary here, maybe we'll start here on her neck and just get her kind of used to being next to people. And this goes for any other horses that you might have ear shy.
Okay, great.
All right. You're just going to kind of rub them and get them kind of used to you touching them more or less. Stay over here, Mary. All right. If we can, get a hold of the halter, because a lot of times when you get an ear shy horse, you go to put your hand up here, they'll come towards you and try to smack you in the face.
Right.
So you want to kind of block that if you can with your own hand and control it. And you can start here and go fast, up and over their ears. All right,
wow,
very quickly. All right, and just go up and over, and you're going to eventually get to the point where you can slow down and slow down and slow down until you can just kind of rub. And they get used to this and get very almost to the point they like it, and then you can just kind of one ear and kind of hold it, and you're going to keep doing this until you can reach your hand up here, hold both ears, and the head lowers. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Now, if at any point in time the horse was to move away from you, all right, I'm going to use what I call deletion to stop that behavior.
Okay.
Okay. Because every behavior that is repeated is learned, whether it's good or bad behavior. All right. So if she was to back up as I stuck my hand on her head, you just pull it back forward and say, "This is where I want you to stay."
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do with Mary and any other type of horses.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's
Wonderful.
move on to the next one here.
Okay.
Hey folks, I'm Ryan Gingrich, the behaviorist. You know, like a lot of you, my tack room is limited in space, but with EquiRex, I've solved that problem.
EquiRex has a wide variety of products that travel well and are easily affordable. Its rugged construction allows for even the most rigorous daily use.
EquiRex, space where you need it. For more information, call my 1-800 number or visit my website for a complete line of EquiRex products.
Stall Skins, the alternative to rubber mats. Celebrating 10 years of providing stall flooring solutions for the equine community. Contact us to find out why thousands of horse owners have switched to the simple one-piece water-permeable stall flooring system that pays for itself in less than 1 year. 800-400-3165 or www.stallskins.com.
All right, and this is Dakota, right?
Yes.
All right, good. And this must be Lisa, right? All right, and you said Dakota was just recently starting to have some behaviors where he's starting to rear up and...
He was so fearful in the beginning, and it took him so long to overcome it. And recently, he seems to have digressed a little bit. And when he gets upset or when he feels that there's too much conflict, he does. He's been going up and trying, again, bolting a little bit. So.
Okay, all right. You know, one of the things that I've dealt with on a pretty consistent basis is the rearing horses. And actually just got done not too long ago shooting a horse that was a rearer. And it was, most normal horses when they rear up, they go up and go away from you. This one actually went up and would come on top of me. So rearing normally is a fear issue.
Okay.
And when you start to see it, you have to basically tell the horse that that's the wrong response. All right, and a rear is a go forward issue. All right?
Okay.
He no longer wants to go forward. The energy is pushing forward from his hindquarters to his front end, but there's a block here because Dakota has such a big neck and big strong guy, right? And it's got to go somewhere.
Okay.
So the energy just pops out the bottom of his feet and he goes straight up in the air.
Okay.
All right. So to help that, we're going to teach Dakota to go forward.
Okay.
Now I really consider this to be probably one of the most, the worst type of behaviors. You know, rearing is kind of one of those things you have to lead your horse to go anywhere, and if he's rearing because he has some pressure, there's a chance that you could get injured at that point. So the go forward cue is going to be his main objective, and that's with any of the horses that you have.
Okay.
You know, that rear or really buck too. So
And he does. He's been doing a couple different things, but
Sure.
yes, very dangerous behavior.
He's a cute little sucker, though. I'll tell you what.
He's a very sweet boy, and I think he means well. He just has gotten a little bit in his head that's not coming out the way it should be, for sure.
Well, we'll get him worked out.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next horse. And this would be Cody, right?
Yes.
I'm getting better. Cody, you said, was kind of...
He's headstrong, and he
Headstrong.
will test you over and over. Bidding up, for example, he will throw his head and try to knock it into you. And he isn't one that gives up easily. He will put up a big fight to get what he wants to do. So he is definitely stubborn and strong-willed.
Okay, it looks like he's having a time keeping him standing still.
Even the simplest commands he tests.
You know, when a horse is learning something, there's been lots of different research that has said that horses learn in sets of 5 to 7 correct repetitions.
Okay.
All right, and if you go and you try to train them outside of that, of those parameters, they are gonna push a little bit because it's too much repetition. It's too much in their mind at one time.
Okay.
So you have to really be careful about how you push them, how you train them, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The little grab and hold of stuff. How old is he?
He's 4.
He's 4. That's a pretty normal behavior for a 4-year-old.
Okay.
All right. It's not something that I'm going to reprimand him for.
Okay.
If he did try to bite, that's a different story. But just grabbing hold of the lead rope and putting it in his cute little mouth there, that's okay.
Okay.
All right. We're just going to take our hand. So Lisa, you take your hand and just kind of stick it in his mouth here, and he's going to open his mouth, and the lead rope's just going to fall out.
Okay.
All right. At that point, we're just going to walk him forward, stand him still, and say, stay here, stay still. When you see a horse throwing his head and all that kind of stuff, it's really all of these horses in general have what I call conflict behavior. Okay, all bad behavior is conflict behavior, and those conflicts can come from not only from us, but their past experiences.
Okay.
So Cody, right?
Cody.
Cody could be having those type of things happening to him, and again, it's all about stop. It's all about go. You know, if he's having some issues with not wanting to go forward, we're going to work on that. If it's a stop cue thing, we're going to work on that.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. So this is Lily.
This is Lily, yes.
And Kat, right?
Yes, and they are both a lot of fun. These
Good.
Yes.
Good. Well, I really appreciate you guys, especially Kat there.
And I don't think I need to even tell you what her behavior is.
Just a big bully, huh?
Yeah, she is. She's gonna demonstrate it for you. She doesn't have the stop motion down at all.
Sure. So Kat, what I would want to see you do for a horse like that is to take your body off him, first of all. All right? And then if she comes forward, you know, we're going to use, instead of using a nylon lead rope, because honestly, I learned this lesson a long, long time ago. These will actually burn your hands quicker than you can ever imagine.
Okay.
And it's much better to use cotton lead ropes. And I know a lot of them fall apart, but at the same time, this is, you know,
That's good to know.
just
and
a
they're
little
cheaper.
extra expense.
They're less, they're less expensive.
So when
Okay.
she was to pull you forward, okay, we're just going to simply tell each foot to go ahead and take a step back and stand still. All right. If she was to come forward again, just go ahead and let the lead rope drop like it is there. She goes forward like this. We're going to say, no, Kat, Lily.
I won't walk across.
That's the wrong behavior. Put your foot back there. Stand right there. It's where I want you to stay. All right. And it's just that simple.
Okay.
All right. It's a stop issue
Okay.
at this point. So, and again, this all goes back to their mind, right? And how do they understand? Do they understand the language that we're trying to teach them?
Okay, great.
So
that's
let's get everybody else out and back into the pasture probably, and we'll keep Dakota in here, and we'll get to work with them.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem. It's my pleasure.
I can't believe this stuff actually detangles. I had my doubts when I read it was all natural and used moisture and not some synthetic to detangle. This is so cool. It's been 4 days and the moisture in the hair is still working. I should have known it would work after the Wash Me I used. Corey loved the bath, and I love the way the Me products are designed to put me in contact with Corey instead of just standing back and spraying. I wonder if the moisturizer really helps with new hoof growth the way they said it would. It must, because everything I've used so far has done exactly what they said it would. Corey's gonna look and feel so good at the show with Condition Me, Shine Me, and Clean Me for spot cleaning. He's gonna look like a knockout.
Me, all natural grooming products. The product created for the horse. For more information, contact us at mehorsecare.com or 1-800-359-4090.
Just get as many trailers hooked up as we can. Everybody take a pass here. Somebody brought some halters. Roland did, and I guess, Aaron, do you have any? I have two.
Tell Gary to run down there. And put the truck out of the road somewhere, probably out of the way. Maybe we can just park it right here somewhere, and then that'll give, in case I need to get fire trucks in here and stuff, we can get it. All right. Get by.
Will do.
Where's the halters and stuff?
All right, what I want you guys to do is be on standby over here. If this thing comes over the ridge, I want these horses in the first penny backed out, all right? So head on down the road and just kind of put on standby and see which way this thing's going when it comes over the ridge.
And then let's just get halters on the rest of the horses, especially the... Right now, the road is closed at Latrobe. We're gonna have to run them up the hill up to some neighbors. So it's just, no, we can't. You know, it's just scary. It's just not good. And the wood is picked up, and so now another fire just started.